All right, fantastic. I'm back. It's so good to be back here. And yeah, we have a lot of news. On Saturday, there was an assassination attempt on Trump. So the markets are, of course, reacting to this. And we'll take a look at this of why they're moving the way they're moving, what's happening here, and how does it impact certain stocks, especially some stocks that we have in our portfolio. And with that said, welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark. Two of us together. Today is Monday, July 15th. And this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. Mark, it's so good to be back. Thanks so much for holding down the fort last week.
Absolutely. Great to have you back. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was rough until Saturday. And then yesterday, I started feeling a little bit better. And today, much, much, much better. Yeah. So this is the first day where I can think straight again. And it's the first day where I'm sleeping less than 18 hours a day. I mean, this was literally, I didn't expect to sleep that much, but it is what it is. All right. So what's happening? Trump assassination attempt on Saturday. And this morning, the markets are jumping higher. The Dow above 40,000. The S&P now already attacking the 5,700 level soon, trading at session highs. And so is the NASDAQ. We got to talk about it. Why are the markets reacting like this to the assassination attempt?
I mean, with the assassination attempt, you have a few different things going on. I mean, first of all, it's just it's unfortunate, and with that said, you have the political landscape shifting a little bit, and we talked about it in our mastermind call this morning. You had mentioned, Markus, that President Biden needs to be a little more cautious with how he's approaching things and his wording. And even former President Trump has said that his speech at the Republican National Committee convention and just, his approach has changed a little bit, which could pave the way for more Republicans who might have been undecided now getting behind him. Right now, it seems like that is a super, super strong for him and his campaign, and the probability of him being in the White House has jumped, and investors are responding.
Yeah, so this is where today the focus is, okay, it seems that everybody believes that Trump's chances of becoming president have jumped after the assassination attempt. And this said, three factors that are factoring in. Number one, now every Trump supporter and even Republican will vote. Not every Democrat will vote. And we know this because over the past few weeks, there were these discussions. Should President Biden run again or should he drop out, right? And this is the second factor. Right now, President Biden cannot drop out of the race. I mean, this would be chaos. Then you have one president that's stepping down. The other presidential candidate almost got shot, right, in a horrible incident on Saturday. And then, as you said, yeah, the language campaign needs to be changed. So far, I mean, the language campaign from the Democrats was, okay, let's attack Trump as a character. Part of it, right? I mean, part of it. That is off the table right now. So you can no longer do this because then it's like, okay, did this actually lead to this horrible incident that happened here on Saturday? So this is where today, the markets are factoring in, okay, what would happen if Republicans gain control again next year? And if this vote in November is favorable for Trump. And this is where we see markets are jumping up. We see that, for example, one of the sectors, if you look here, that is up today is the energy sector. Why, right? I mean, classical oil and gas explorations. We know that Trump is more for offshore drilling and less renewable energies. This is why today, as we look at our positions, CSIQ, Canadian Solar, is down massively, 8.8%, right? On the other hand, we will take a look at this. Halliburton is up. What else is going on? Well, cryptocurrencies, everybody knows that Trump is more pro cryptocurrency, and this is where we say, okay, Ethereum right now up. I don't even know why I deleted Bitcoin. It was there the other day. Now I seem to have deleted it. But let's take a look at Bitcoin.
Up
Which
four
one do we?
percent.
Huh?
4%.
4% up. So this also means that cryptocurrency stocks, like for example, Coinbase today up 11%. MU, no, MSTR, MicroStrategy, up today 14%. Then we also have healthcare providers, United Healthcare, being up today. Okay, this has pulled back a little bit, but so it has affect certain sectors here, and this is where overall we see that the markets are higher, responding kind of positively to this horrible incident.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned green energy and the impact on solar, and it's setting up to be the worst day for solar since February.
Yeah. Then we also, well, we have to look at Trump Media. DJT, Trump Media today. Let's take a look at this. Wow. Up 35% today.
The
So
bell. So, but yeah, big move there.
lots happening. However, we believe, or I believe, and I'll let you chime in, that this will dominate the news probably today, tomorrow, maybe until next midweek, and then we will shift focus again on what should have been the focus this week. What do you think, Mark?
I agree, and you know, sure, there can be these political shifts that impact the market. I'm not going to say that politics and policy doesn't have a role in the market, and I mean that is true. However, the market tends to discount a lot of that because it could be these bigger, longer term moves. And you tend to have a short reaction and a short lifespan for these type of events. I saw US UBS. Sorry, I think this is a great comment here. While the attempted assassination of former US President Donald Trump adds a new layer of complexity to what has already been a rocky election, UBS does not advise traders to necessarily make changes in response to the dramatic. So this is from their global wealth management chief investment officer for the bank UBS, and I think that it's correct. It adds a layer of complexity, but it doesn't make sense to make these huge overreactions because it tends to normalize.
Right. So without this, what would have been in focus this week for traders would be earnings, because earnings season officially kicked off last week. This week we have 40 companies out of the S&P 500 reporting earnings, and we see that we continue with financials. We had before the bell Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, then we have Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab. Then we move into the Dow components. We're looking at Johnson and Johnson, Abbott Laboratories. We have American Express, SLB. I'm no longer pronouncing Schlumberger. We have Halliburton. We have Fifth Third Bank. So we have a little bit of a broad mix. United Airlines, we see here, US Bank Corp. So, but more this week, kind of classical Dow components, with the exception of Netflix. And then over the next few weeks, we shift more towards tech. But this is what I believe will be in focus again later this week. Not today, not tomorrow. This is where the news are dominated by the Trump assassination and also the aftermath of it, of what's happening right now, how everybody is responding to it. But that's what we are currently seeing. We talked about it this
Yeah,
morning, Mark. I mean, a little bit surprising that the yields have not changed a whole lot, because we see that on a daily chart here. If you look at the 2-year yield, it's actually right now down. The 10-year yield slightly up, but retracing from where we were earlier today.
sure. And the reason why this is interesting is if we look back to the end of June, where the 10-year yield really spiked and made highs that we hadn't seen for a couple of weeks and getting close to a month there. This came after the presidential debate. So yields spiked because of Trump's performance versus Biden's, and now the probability had shifted again towards Trump potentially becoming the next president. And now, again, the probability of Trump becoming the next president and having a Republican administration has crept. Unfortunate event over the weekend. I would think that yields would be spiking too, because tariffs don't necessarily help the Fed's inflation fight. And in theory, it might be harder for the Fed to be cutting rates. I mean, that's yet to be seen, but that's kind of the thinking behind the first spike that we had at the end of June.
Yeah, however, this is where it seems that traders are looking past this and more towards the economic data. And we had really great economic data last week, especially the CPI. Instead of just being up 0.1%, it was actually lower. And right now, as we can see, the probability of the Fed cutting rates in the September meeting that is coming up soon, it is now at 92.7%, almost 93%. That's what
Yeah.
traders are focusing on right now, where they say, okay, with all the good data, the unemployment is creeping up, which is not good. Inflation is coming down, which is good. So this means that the Fed can be ready. Nobody believes that they are lowering interest rates as soon as July. If they would, it would be the wrong signal, because it means that the Fed is concerned about the economy. If they would lower rates in July, I believe the markets would dip. So I think this is what we have said all along. September is the most likely outlook and or outcome, and that's what we are looking at right now. So no surprise there, and this is where interest rates are probably reacting more to that data than anything else.
Yeah, and if anything, you see the potential yield curve getting back to normal, because the 2-year yield is down today. The 10-year yield has the largest gain, and so if anything, it's normalizing based on the move today.
Yeah. So all of that is good news. And let's see, how does this affect our positions? And we start with our WTF. No new WTF signals. We do have Airbnb. Airbnb a little bit all over the place today. First lower, now higher, up 0.3%. So we are trading above our entry signal. So we entered at 146.83, right now at 147. This is a trade that we entered on Friday, working out so far, so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
All
looks
right.
good to me.
And then we have Disney. Disney, also a little bit all over the place. Right now, slightly down 0.3%. And this is the trade that we have been in here for a few days. I do believe we got the signal here towards the end of June. So we have been in there for a couple of weeks right now. And getting close to an exit. I mean, at this point, it would be a losing trade, but we'll see. I mean, today stocks are a little bit all over the place in different industries.
Agreed.
All right. Now, we didn't have any new signals. We didn't have any exits. So right now, we just have our two open positions here. Now, way more action on our wheel trade, CSIQ, after having a phenomenal run over the past week. Today, pulling back, down 8.6%. And we said it. This is what everybody is referring to today as the so-called Trump bet, which means the bets today is Trump will become the next president. Not the biggest fan of renewable energies, and therefore CSIQ taking a hit today. Nothing else has changed. I think over the next few days that this will normalize and we will quickly go back towards the 18. Probably, I mean, it could be as quickly as by the end of end of this week, actually. What do you think?
Would love it. I,
All
I
right.
think it's a bit of an overreaction, but yes, would love to get it back up there.
Holy cannoli, HAL, Halliburton. I mean, definitely a stock that would be benefiting from from the Trump bet here. We were assigned at 34.50 this morning. We already sold calls against 34.50, half of our position. And look at this. I mean, we can probably sell more calls. Let's take a look at this, because this is where I said, okay, I would be interested in selling more calls at the 36.50 strike price, and you said you would be interested at the 36.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whoa! Look at this. Are you ready to take this trade, or are you waiting a little bit more? Because this is
Well,
46% at 36.50, 73% at 36.
in fact, Marcus, I did take this, and it was a little bit before that pop. I got 30 cents at the 36, which is 63% annualized. So now
Wow.
there's a little more, but I did sell calls on the other half of my position at 36.
Okay, I'll do it at 36.50. I'll try to get 45 cents, and this would be another $1,300. Okay, I'm placing this order right now. Let's see if I can get filled there. Ah, I'm not connected on this computer. Okay, so I will do this later, but 45 cents. That's what I'm looking at. In fact, let me just place this on the other computer really quick, because I am connected there to the brokerage. That is very tempting. I like this. All right, cool. Let's move on. We are not in IWM anymore, and I need to remove it from there. UPS also today moving higher, up 1%. So this is looking good, and a phenomenal run last week also for UPS. Right now, we finally broke out of this range and marching back towards our call selling territory here right now. Love this move.
Yeah, that's nice. We definitely wanted it to break out of that range. We knew it was going to happen. Nice to see it going to the upside, going the right way.
Yeah. So all of this looking good. And yeah, this morning, HAL, since we already sold calls, collected already a lot of premium there. And right now, selling more calls. Yeah, I'm excited about this. This worked out really
Yeah,
well. And I'm sticking with my 36.50, and I want to get 45 cents.
nice, nice.
All right.
So CSIQ taking a bit of a hit with the reaction today, and Halliburton working out. So I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we look at the markets, I know that I've been leaving you hanging with the dad jokes. Did you actually tell a few dad jokes last week? Or were you waiting for me? Were you saving them all up?
Marcus, unfortunately for everybody, I did. They were not the best. I have to admit, and so
You need
I'm
the
glad you
competition,
weren't
huh?
watching the videos because I probably let you down.
We need to. Okay, we need to step it up again. All right, what do you got for us today?
All right. In honor of Amazon Prime Day, which is starting tomorrow, so for anybody looking for some good discounts that don't seem to be as good each year, but it's still it's worth having fun and checking them out. This one's in honor of Amazon. What do you call two monkeys with an Amazon Prime account? Primates.
Okay. All right, all right, all right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So here's mine. When you're with Spanish speaking friends, remember to say mucho as much as possible, because it means a lot to them.
That's
Hey,
good.
I'm getting back in the groove here. I'm getting back in the groove.
I
So
yeah, I think that the competition, the friendly competition helps pick it up a little bit. That works.
it picked up a little bit. Okay, so you let us know which of these jokes you like better, since we do have our competition going here. Looking back at the markets, look at this. What can stop the markets? S&P 500 making new record highs right now. Nasdaq making new record highs. Dow Jones trading above 40,000. And I do believe that even for the Dow, right now, we are trading, look at this, at record highs. All three indices, even the IWM, I mean, the small cap, mid cap here, up 2% today. I mean, it's kind of crazy how the market's reacting to this.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right. Well, with that said, uh, we will definitely be back tomorrow and you don't want to miss it. So make sure that you like this video today. If you like that I'm back finally, if you like our jokes, if you like our commentary and how we are sharing our trades. Secondly, if you're new to this channel, hit subscribe. And if you find that this information was worth sharing, there's a share button right underneath. We appreciate you sharing this video with your friends, with whoever you can think of. And with that said, have a great rest of your day, and we see you again tomorrow.
Happy trading, everybody.